There we go. All right, guys. Hey, welcome to the Drag and Drive Show, episode 37, presented by Summit Racing. Guys, I'm on site at Southeast Street-N-Yeet. Eric is over here this time. Sorry, getting there. Different location. You can see I'm set up in the hotel room. And we may have some surprise guests here in just a little bit, not in the hotel room, but I may be going downstairs. Eric, hit the intro video and let's get this thing started, dude.
Yes, sir. Maybe. Hold
Maybe.
on.
Guys, I'm here with Dave Teresi, Mr. Energy.
Oh, yeah, I'm psyched to be here. Thanks for having me. And I'm
Oh, we're looking this for a 6 something. That's
Excited you're here. It's going to be a ton of fun. Great weather.
What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for having me.
I'm really excited about this right here. All right. Well, like I said earlier, welcome to the Drag and Drive Show. Guys, my name is Mike Narks. I am the host of the Drag and Drive Show that you're watching right now, and the news, which happens on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern. I would say I'm a Drag and Drive statistician. That's probably the easiest nerdy word you can say, and then promoter and announcer. And Eric, introduce yourself and tell them who you are. So,
I am Eric White. I am the co-host of the Drag and Drive Show and Drag and Drive News. When I'm not helping with Drag and Drive Addiction, I'm running my own channel, which is 815 LSX Swaps. And I am not a rising creator this week, but I think after the post that just went wild, I'm due up again coming up soon. So
yeah, for sure. Well, before we start the show, let's jump into that just a little bit because you've had some crazy success on a Facebook post. So tell everybody a little bit about what it was and kind of where you got the idea and how you ran with that.
yeah, so our local circle track, which I've been going to, my parents said they took me starting when I was like 2 weeks old to the circle track. So I've been going there my entire life. It is closing down. They're done. They sold right now all the land around it, but the track isn't actually sold yet. Something to do with the EPA and the fuel and oils into the ground. They can't build on it. So I decided a couple weeks ago that I wanted to go when it was the last event there, walk around the facility, take some cool pictures, make some memories. So I
Mhm.
did that. And then a coworker of mine, a buddy Sean, he has a really nice drone and he's like, hey, let's go get some aerial shots too. So you can post those as well. So we went over and took about, I don't know, probably about 15, 20 aerial photos, brought them back and edited them, and then put up an entire album, posted it on my personal page, and then a retired race cars and abandoned racetracks group, and this just ran wild. It's got like 360 shares right now. The reach is at like 60K, so
That's
it's been
awesome.
uh, it's been wild, and it's really cool to see everybody, enjoying the pictures, the memories, and even the owner who had passed away, her daughter had reached out, asked for a copy of the photos, and her brother. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to use some of the photos when they auction off some of the items that are remaining at the
Cool.
track. So I'm going to try to see if I can go back and maybe get some more photos because there's a ton of history at that track. It's been
Yep.
open 76 years. So there's so
Golly.
much history that I want to be able to go around and capture. And yeah, Destroyer, he knows the track since he was around here too. Definitely sucks to hear that, but I'm gonna see if I can't try to snag some stuff when they do the auction just to have some keepsakes from that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. And that's, I mean, now it's cool because you're looking at it, it's going wild now. But those pictures that you took they'll live on forever and people will go back to those posts and those posts will come up on people's Facebook memories in 10 and 15 and 20 years. And they'll be like, oh man, I used to race at that track back in the 80s and 90s and 2000s. So
Yeah,
that'll be really cool, man. So that's a
and
great idea.
Yeah, and I've raced circle tracks there. I've raced the 4-cylinder class a few times. I've done the trailer race. So if people don't know what that is, you take a vehicle, hook a trailer up behind it, try to knock the trailer off the other person. I did that twice. I've done autocross at that facility. I've done drift events there. I've been to car shows there. So I've done just about everything that they have there that I could do.
Awesome. Well, this right here we'll start the show off with this question right here. So essentially, if you are watching this on the Drag and Drive Addicts Facebook group, if you scroll down to the bottom of the description under this video right now, you can click submit and it'll or you click the link that gives StreamYard permission to use your name in this video. You see some of the other people's name like Carl Steamy here. He has given them permission, or he's watching on the Drag and Drive Addiction Facebook page as well. So I want to say thanks to everybody that's in here watching this tonight, guys. We can't do this without you. Everything that you guys do makes this possible. I mean, the 14, 15 hours worth of driving I have to get here. I was on Facebook a little bit of that while I was driving. It was great to see everybody making
So
comments about the upcoming events and all that kind of stuff.
just real quick, this is the Drag and Drive Addicts group. This is the link that you need to click.
Yep.
So in order to get your name to show up, click this link right here, and then that'll take you to another page. You'll say accept, and then it'll take you back, and you'll be good.
Yep. Perfect. Thank you for pulling that up. Appreciate that a bunch. Yeah. So if you do that, that should take care of that while you're on here. Now you will have to do that each time. That's just something that StreamYard has to do. I'm sure it's some kind of rules within Facebook setting all that up. But again, guys, thank you so much for taking care of us tonight, taking care of everybody out here. And then thank you to our sponsors, Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Howard's Cams, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classifieds. I want to talk about a cool story. I spoke with Eric Grillo at Molly yesterday. I guess I don't remember even know what today is, but it was Monday. Sorry, I messaged him Monday. Fletcher, North Carolina, is the headquarters of Molly Motorsport North America, and so there's a lot of engineering and stuff that goes on there. No manufacturing, but I'm going to swing by there on next Monday and do an interview with maybe Eric and someone else within the facility, and then maybe get a small tour to see kind of what goes on behind the scenes of one of our brand sponsors. So I appreciate him allowing me to do that. So
Yeah,
that's
that's going to be very cool. I'm kind of jealous that I'm not there with you. I see you got 2 beds behind you. I had a place. I guess I could have slept if I could have got the time off, but
dude, we talked about flights being $150, man. It'd have been easy to do, but I get it, man. Get it. It was
we've went to a
in
lot of events
reality.
this year.
Oh yeah, in reality, I should have flown out here myself, but then I got to rent a car or I'm stuck with somebody. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but now I have a lot of crap that I carry around, with scooter and backpack and camera bag and chair and all that kind of stuff that you end up with as you drag all this around. So it'd have been too much to jump in and ride with somebody and force them to doing that. So I do see Brent Sinclair asking, are you planning to stream from the event or is there a live stream? There is no like official live stream. I will be live on my phone quite a bit because there's no live stream. And I know Jesse Fox of 3G Video, he'll be live as well from a lot of the route stops and then also from the track some, I'm sure, as we can get service. The service when I was there earlier was not very good. So yeah, and the speed mini here asking if I'm gonna bring home some pistons for Steven. We have had some in-depth conversations with Molly about the pistons for the Project Adamant over on the Narcoleptic Customs channel. So they are working on a live stream. Perfect. All right. Well, dude, let's get to it. A lot of cool stuff. Obviously, I'm here for Southeast Street-N-Yeet. It starts tomorrow morning. They're doing tech, and then the track goes hot at 11, which will be kind of cool. And then I don't know if you guys Eric, you hadn't shown the pictures yet, have you?
Nope.
That I loaded up tonight. So I know Eric will get those edited and posted as soon as he can. But guys, Bryant Goldstone is here.
I got that picture in here.
Yeah.
Let's jump into that here.
Okay, because and again, we'll kind of work all this into the remaining events because my plan is I'm hoping that James Roulette and Scott Brown and those guys will be back from eating dinner while we're still live. So then I can sneak down and talk to them live on the roaming camera, which is also my cell phone. So Bryant Goldstone Brian Robbins are here. I didn't know if they were going to make it. I'm really pumped that they are here because if they do what they're supposed to, you could be looking at the back end of the new and first, or I guess the first ever Drag and Drive World Champion. He has an opportunity to overtake Corey if he, of course, does everything perfect. If he breaks the record in the class, he's in unlimited. Obviously, if he breaks the unlimited record, if he, goes the week, and if he does all the stuff, then he can get there. So I don't have the points all laid out because obviously I was driving the last 2 days and I didn't know for sure he was coming. So I'd heard rumors, but obviously you don't ever know till you show up. That's the way it goes. So again, this is the last national level event for 2023, the last time that you could have earned points for the Drag and Drive World Champion. So people that were out there fighting for that and looking at those point series, if you're not here by, I think, like noon or 1 tomorrow, you have no way of winning it. So this could be pretty good. I will say the video that I am going to edit tonight, because I'm going to try and do a daily video just from my phone. He tried to make 2 passes and was struggling with the bump box. So it would nudge in, I guess. I'm not even going to say bump, and then it would jump like 2.5 or 3 feet. So they were really working on that. They worked on the computer a whole bunch, pulled the car back in. It did the same thing, but not as violent. So it should be pretty interesting. I mean, they thrashed to get that car back together. They thrashed. It's got a brand new transmission in it. The one that was in it that has ran so well all year was at the transmission builders until I think he said it was yesterday or day before. And so they put the new transmission in before then, like his backup, I guess, to come down here. So he may be changing transmissions tonight. I don't know. So it's gonna be interesting, dude. I'm really anxious to see what comes along. Ryan Hargett is here. Him and Tammy came down. He is carrying around, listen to this, a set of 235s and a set of 275s, and he has double entered.
Oh man.
So right. So here's the thing. You can enter 2 different classes here at Southeast Street-N-Yeet. You will not gather points like it's 2 separate events. We would take your whichever class is the highest, that is the points that you would carry on with. So Ryan Hargett really has an opportunity here if, Bryant Goldstone doesn't do as well, Ryan on a bigger tire in unlimited, he has that opportunity to maybe go out and beat him. And then maybe I don't know. It's going to be really cool, but he's going to have to swap between 275 tires and 235 tires each day, plus the drive tire change.
And then make passes with each tire.
Yeah, he has to make a pass with each tire.
So no one and done for you, Ryan.
No, that's for sure. So pretty awesome. The weather's going to be amazing. We're going to be in the 60s all week. There is a 38-degree night here, so it's going to be freezing as it is. And then kind of like we talked last week, 2 new tracks I'll visit. Shadyside, which I was at tonight for a little bit. Y'all, this is a cool track. It's really kind of when you drive in, it looks like you're driving through like a little kind of residential country neighborhood, and then you turn this corner and then boom, down in the bottom, it's going to be really cool. The cars that are here already are going fast. There's a Supra here that I think they said ran 6 O's right out of the gate, or maybe 5 O's right out of the gate. And it's that whatever the A90, the new Supra, it's that car with a ton of upgrades. Car looks amazing. But by the time I had gotten back up to the top of the hill, it was already too dark to get a picture of it. So a lot of pictures coming. That'll be some really cool stuff. So let's see, I'm trying to think what else. We got King of the Open Road next weekend. So
Yep.
we get through this weekend. Then we got King of the Open Road next weekend in Ennis, Texas, to end out the U.S. events here in the States. That'll be the last event of the season. We've talked to Dustin Cottle. He said he's going. That will give him 7 events for the year. And I was talking to Walter and Catherine Doyle while we were at the registration booth tonight at Shadyside, and this is their 5th event for the year. So, I mean, just wild to see so many folks doing so many events. And I mean, obviously that's what happens when you're addicted to drag and drive.
Right.
So King of the Open Road finishes the year, and then we've got 2 in Australia. The first time we've ever seen that happen, where they've land on the same weekend. So we've got the Road Trip Drag Challenge, which we had Mick on a couple months ago, talking about their 3 events a year. This is their last one for the season, and they will actually crown a I don't remember what they call it, Grand Marshal or I think Grand Champion. So whoever is the fastest across all three events. So that's pretty cool. And then the Central Victorian Drag and Drive, of course, same weekend, 17th through 19th on both of those. This is going to be really fun to see how this plays out. And then, just finished up was the New Zealand Drag and Drive. And because of my travels, I didn't have a chance to pull together the stats and racer names and all that kind of stuff from that. So it's pretty crazy. Wow. Taylor Hedrick says he's done 7 in 1 year. He won 2 and 3 DNFs. That's crazy. Crazy events. So, all right.
And then our final event.
Yes. Yes. This is going to be the more that things come together on this behind the scenes, the more this is going to be. I don't know. I'm past the anxious stage. Now I'm in the really getting excited stage about this. We've set up to where we're going to be at the Howard's Cams booth from 3 to 4 on Friday. On Thursday, we're going to be there from 3 to 4. But before that, Rich Guido is going to be in our booth 4746, for an hour, doing a meet and greet with folks. So we're going to start spreading the word on Facebook and on the PRI app. So if you're going to be at PRI, definitely make sure you select that meet and greet so it alerts you to come to the booth so you can talk to Rich Guido. I mean, obviously, anytime we can have some kind of interaction with him, we've picked up the internet service for all 3 days. So we will be going live from the booth as we get guests in and other drag and drive racers and things like that come by that want to jump on. We'll fire up a live stream and jump in right there from PRI. So it's going to be kind of cool to do that. I've actually got a second mic on order now, so we can both have mics. It won't be the pass back and forth. So it's going to be kind of fun for that. And then do you have the stickers there? Yes. Perfect. So again, this is a one-off. We have about 380 of these right here. What I said, you said 380, 320? You said it's a little more than 300, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have, sorry, Stephen, I'll have to call you back in just a little bit. It was Stephen Mask in the wagon. I saw him earlier in one of the parking lots, and as I was looking for a hotel room. But so we'll have those for the first 100 folks that come by the table in the mornings. We'll have those, and then the keychains. We'll have the keychains there as well. These are for sale, $10 on site, and then Eric will have those available on the website after we get back from PRI. So 2 special things that you can get anywhere are going to be available right there at PRI. So I'm really excited about that. Again, we spent big money to have a booth there. We would love to have people come by and take selfies and pictures and all that kind of stuff. Edward Schwartz is here asking where I am. I'm at the Comfort Inn in Shelby, North Carolina. So in my super sweet room here. I don't know which bed I'm going to sleep on, but if there's somebody needing a room, hit me up, message me if they need a spot to sleep tonight. So, all right, dude.
And crazy. Also,
yes, lead us in on that, because you put the artwork together on that, but I know the story behind the melted piston there.
Yep. So we are taking nominations for the Molly Melted Piston Award. So there is a post in the Drag and Drive Addicts group. You can go in there, nominate whoever for this award, and then this is going to be given out again at that award ceremony on Thursday morning.
Yep. So we're doing the Melted Piston Award. We're doing the roughest roadside repair for Sweet Patina. And then the piston in this one here was actually done by Jack Crawford at the circuit event back in April. So he really thought he had just broken a valve spring or something, pulls it off, nothing was wrong, pulls the motor apart, and there's 2 of them like this. So it's pretty interesting setup there. Stephen Mask here. Yep, I'm at the Comfort Inn across town, or I'm about 4 miles from you, I think, because I checked the hotel that Stephen was at, and they didn't have any rooms available. Then I hit 3 other hotels and they didn't have rooms available because there is a fireman convention here in Shelby, North Carolina this week. So, of course, what if it wasn't melted but exploded? We're willing to see all exploded pistons. The one that Brady Bluma posted was hilarious. It's just like a pile of piston pieces. So, yeah, definitely let us know. All right. 2024 events are already beginning to rack up. This is probably not all of them. I've made a list on the website. There are 20 20 events that I know of. Now, some of these don't have dates locked in yet, but I do know that there will be dates very soon for most of the big events for sure. But you can see there's some new ones that are on here too. Big Sky Race Week, June 16th through 21st. And then I think I've got the dates wrong on one of them. Somebody had sent me a message the other day talking about I may have had a date mix up. So that's what happens when you're going through so much. Typically the way we get all this information is from Facebook posts. I mean, so I live on Facebook when I'm not doing all the stat stuff. I'm trying to find information for you guys all the time. So sometimes things get missed. Sometimes I mix up dates. So that's the way it works. But dragondrive.com, we do have a new list on there. And I'll, again, be adding to all of that as well as dates are locked in.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, tell us about what you got on the screen there, man.
So found on.
Oh, hang on. Sorry. Back up one screen. Because we didn't talk about the most important note you made here, which is a message from Carl Stansel earlier saying that they have the dates locked in for Drop the Hammer 2024, and he's going to be releasing those by the end of the week. So maybe we can talk about those on Saturday morning on the show or on the news, the Dragon Drum News at 10 a.m. Eastern on Saturday.
Yes, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Hey, Tim. And then, so our Found on Summit, obviously, you can get your Drag and Drive Addiction hoodie. It's hoodie weather now, hats, t-shirts, and that stuff. But I was scrolling through today while you were driving and found some, I would call them holiday gifts. That's what we're going to go with this week.
All right.
So we got this drag race alarm clock. So pretty sweet. That is
that for sure.
$29.99. So that's good for any car guy or girl. And then this USA license plate map I thought was really cool. The price is anywhere from $26.99 to $82.99, depending on the size that you choose. So obviously, the bigger you get, the more expensive it becomes. But I really liked that one. I thought that was pretty cool. And then also, you've got your NAS plush pillow, always a go-to, or a Summit Racing NAS logo water bottle.
Nice.
So, got to stay hydrated on the event, so carry around a nice looking NAS water bottle.
Yeah, I dig it. And then I see Andrew asking here, will Street-N-Yeet be doing a spring event next year? I'll ask tomorrow. Earlier when we had talked to Devin a few months ago, he had said no, they would only do a fall event moving forward. But I did hear spring mentioned earlier tonight. So we'll see.
Very cool. So then what you've been working on for the past, I don't know how long.
Dude, 10 days.
Day in and day out.
Yeah, it's been hours and hours and hours. So all of the quarter mile racer lists are updated.
Yep. So I wasn't able to find a screenshot of the 9.0. So I've got the 10.0. All of these are going to show the top 10 of each 10 through 14 class.
Oh, cool. All right. So let me explain the ground rules for this. This is racers. We treat these 9 through 14 second lists as index style lists. So these racers that have, like Travis Urbach, he does not have a pass that is faster than 10.0 submitted at the event that it shows there on the right. Now, the key to that is a situation maybe like Brian Acton, where he would have made the 9-second or the 10-second list, but he was racing for 850s all week. So I didn't feel like that was fair. And that's the way it's going to be. So these racer lists like this are the top 25. Eric's showing the top 10 here. You can find these on draganddrive.com, drag-in-drive.com. And we've got them broken down again. 10 through 14 is what's shown on the site. I'm trying to figure out how to turn the 9 on. I don't know why it doesn't show up, but we do have. So the reason we start at 9 seconds on through 14 is because we have in the top 100, we run through the 8 seconds. So there's no point in running a top 25 8-second list because those racers are already populated on the top 100. I will do an honorable mention list that is the racers between the bump spot, the number 100 spot, and the beginning of the 9-0 list, which is about 25 racers. So it's not fair for those racers to not be on some list because they earned it. So
Right.
we will have an honorable mentions list as we go.
All right, so that is the 10-0 top 10. We have the 11-0 top 10. So
Yep, and you
topped off
see
by Cameron Thorpe
Cameron
there.
Thorpe. That dude is an animal. That week, he raced at a bracket race on like Friday, and then started race week on Saturday, drove to Bandimere, raced a bracket race, then drove on to Kearney to, begin the rest of his week for race week. So that guy is eat up. He is a drag and drive addict for sure. So it's pretty awesome. And then our good friend David Fontaine in second place with an 11:027 at Midwest Drag. So just awesome to see all the names on there. And obviously, as we do this more often, the more names become familiar to us,
Right. Yep, I remember seeing quite a few of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
12-0 list. I mean, Zachary Stevens is owning that one. 12-0-0.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. He ran at least one perfect 12:000 pass, and then several other obviously 12:00 passes. And with Midwest Drags, you have to turn in 2 passes a day. So he has that average, a 12:009 average on 8 passes across 4 days of racing. Pretty intense.
Yeah, and those top three we were all watching at Midwest
Yeah.
Drags. Will Shackelford and Scott Franks, they were all making multiple passes
Yeah.
those days
Yeah.
trying to get that perfect 12:000.
Yeah. Zach Stevens made 17 passes in one day.
Yeah, that's insane.
There's some racers that didn't make that many passes during the week, like Greg Jones, who's number 5 on there. I think he made that. No, he made a bunch of passes the last day at Bandimere, but without that, he would have done it in like 14 or 15 passes for the
Yeah.
week. So pretty awesome.
And then our 13-0 top 10 here.
Yep. Curtis Tanky, and then John Long and Krista Long. The 84 Chevette, that was a fun one to watch at race week. And you can see a lot of race week names or a lot of race week events popping up on here because they race those index classes. They race a 9 through 14 second index class. So those racers are looking for those O passes, 033, 039, 047 averages across that. So that means that all the way down to the 10th place here, 13080.
Right.
And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, all but one of those racers is a Rocky Mountain Race Week.
Right.
And that means they're racing in the 13-0 index. So that's why we treat these almost as index racers, because these lists to me need to be racers that are racing towards that number, not just happen to it by accident.
Yep. And then the last one is our 14-0 index, top 10. I don't know if you can see that.
I left some additional information on there. Sorry about that. I'll get that updated here shortly. Kyle Calkins just rocked it, absolutely rocked it all week. Had 2 or 3 00 passes during the week. And then, again, you can see so many of the race week and Rocky Mountain family there, all except one in the top 10. So pretty amazing.
Yeah, again, all but one.
Yeah. Yeah. And so as it goes further, I mean, it gets down some, but like you've got, here, the number 10 spot, you got a 14-1. Let's flip back real quick. Let me run this real quick for this thing. So you got 13-080, you got 12-045 as the number 10 spot. Again, these go all the way to 25 on the website. 11-069 on the 11-second stuff. 10-061 on the second class. That's crazy. Yeah, and then you didn't have the 9. Sorry. And we went over that the other day with a little bit with Luna Tran being the third fastest female, but then also the number 1 racer in the 9-0 index or 9-0 list. Sorry.
Yep. So pretty interesting stuff. Again, if you guys want to see the whole top 25, head over to drag-n-drive.com and you can see the whole top 25 of each one of these classes.
Yep. Sorry, I'm cleaning up all that stuff now on the page. I'll get those updated shortly.
All right. So before we jump into Found on Racing Junk, we are going to go ahead and thank another one of our sponsors, Molly, by playing this ad read.
Molly Motorsports is the official piston of DragonDrive.com. Molly's Power Pack piston is the perfect candidate for your drag and drive car. Molly Motorsports competes in drag and drive events and supports our community. Project manager Eric Grillo raced a 10-second stick shift Nova at Hot Rod Drag Week 2022. He's also competed in Rocky Mountain Race Week last year with his C10 truck. Visit mollymotorsports.com for the most recent line of products.
All right. Sorry. I was texting Stephen Mask and my wife back.
There you go.
Multitasking here, live streaming, hosting a show, and texting people.
There you go. All right, so we'll jump into our Found on Racing junk here next, and I will pull these up. So this week is all about the Carolina cars, so cars that you can grab while you're out near Street-N-Yeet, maybe jump in one of them and follow along. So the first one
Right.
is a 1959 Morris Minor Gasser theme for 10 grand.
Yeah, somebody
thing was
tagged
pretty
Steve-
cool
somebody,
looking.
somebody tagged Steven Narks right now.
That's
That's what he needs
what
to
I
build.
thought of.
Yeah, these cars here, guys, y'all gotta understand, they are tiny, tiny. Like they make a Miata look big.
Yeah. So I thought this one was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Little stubby wheelie bars on the back there.
that's funny.
So it looks like it's got
Yeah,
nice little setup there. So we've got Kinston, North Carolina. It's not a race car. It's a fun-built hot rod to look like a gasser. Tilted front end, 4.3 Chevy V6 board 60 over. So I thought that was kind
Nice.
of interesting.
yeah.
Comp can, valve train, roller tip rockers, forged pistons, rod, stock crank. Heads were ported, Edelbrock Performer intake, Holly carb, MSD ignition, 4L60 trans with lockup converter. So definitely see it's a pretty sweet little rig
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, and if like to be a little V6, I bet that thing is a blast. He says 300 horsepower, so I bet that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So for 10 grand, if you ain't got a vehicle and you're in the Carolinas, go
Yeah.
pick that up and go follow along with Street-N-Yeet.
Yeah, right. If they bought it tomorrow and had it here by noon, they could probably race it.
Yeah. So the next one here, let me get back to the beginning, is a Henry J. two-door drag car, 511 big block Ford, street
Yes.
potential.
Yeah, this isn't one you're going to try and go pick up and drive this weekend.
Why not? You might be able
Man.
to.
Phew. Well, I don't know if folks know this, but I love Henry J's.
Yeah. Yeah, we featured a couple of them on the show now.
Yeah, it's like a clean wiring job finally. Somebody didn't tear something up.
Yeah.
Decent gauge. And I bet this thing just absolutely rocks with a big block Ford and probably weighs 2,500 pounds, if that
Yep.
much.
So not a whole lot on here. Clear Minnesota title. Build appears to be on an S10. Chassis with disc brake, Mustang 2 front end, 9-inch Ford rear end. So
Cool. Yeah, good
So-
find. And for 17,000, that's a pretty good deal. Seems like.
Yep. Yep. And then the last one, 1987 square body drag truck for 17.5. So this thing was pretty sweet looking, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I dig these square bodies for sure. And I know we got a few people watching that are big square body fans as well.
Yep.
So this is a 383 with 6-inch rods, AFR 220 heads, Victor intake with solid roller, glide with a trans brake, 9-inch rear with Caltrax and mono leafs, Scott's hot rod front rack and pinion with tubular control arms, professionally wired. Truck runs mid sixes in the eighth, 29-inch radials on rear, Lexan windows with factory glass front. Very consistent.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Huh.
So definitely thought that was another pretty sweet one. I really like this picture here. Like
Yeah,
kinda
that's a
slammed
cool
look.
shot. Yeah, I dig that. Mark Edwards, who let me stay at his house last night in Nashville on my way through, is working on a square body pickup. So I was looking at one of those this morning as I left there at about 9:30 a.m. and drove
Yep.
another 7 hours, 400 miles.
So
This was
just a
a
reminder, Racing Junk Classified is our official buy-sell trade site for the Drag and Drive Addiction. Again, we don't run a buy-sell trade Facebook page. We don't allow items to be sold within our group. So head over Racing Junk Classifieds and check out all that stuff.
Yep. Yep. That's exactly right. The buy sell trade page is just so hard to keep up with.
Ooh, I think we got somebody to come knock on your door here.
Yeah, perfect. Yes, Scott Brown, I am in my room. Oh man, I'm scared now. Yeah, I'm in room 231.
Ooh, ooh.
Yep.
Party in room 231. That's what I
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Sweet Patina is one of the reasons we're here. I mean, they were the first company to come on board and say that come on board. Well, Scott is here in the hotel. So Sweet Patina is one of the, I mean, they were our first sponsor. So we appreciate them coming on board. They also allow you guys to have a 10% off on all of your purchases at sweetpatina.com using the code D&D57. And I love the go fast parts before paint picture here, or a shirt and decals and all that kind of stuff. They got the roof rack mounts, which are a huge win. If you don't have those, I don't know what's wrong with you. I'm going to order a set of those for my old truck, I think. And then of course the TKO hand cleaning wipes, which I left laying right on my counter. I actually got them from Steven's shop, brought them home, and then forgot them on the counter. So that's the way it works sometimes.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the way it goes, sadly.
So they don't just have car cleaning products. They got garage
Yeah.
banners, stickers, T-shirts, license plates, and a bunch more. So again, like Mike said, DND57 for 10% off. Make sure you use that code and go support our sponsor. Pick something up from Sweet Patina. Real World Garage here says the Sweet Patina rocks.
Yes. Yes, I agree completely. And you know what's funny is they started out, they're a family of painters, car painters, and all have really nice cars, but then they started this because they wanted to preserve the patina on the 57, and that kind of kicked everything off and all that kind of stuff. So it's really a neat deal. Now they've obviously grown exponentially to provide all kinds of cool stuff for anybody that's into that market. And then also they have, you know, like the frame stuff you can roll on, you know, like POR 15. They've got stuff like that. They've got all kinds of really neat products for your car. So make sure you check out sweetpatina.com.
All right, so that is the end of our every week stuff.
Yep. Let me see if so in the parking lot. The reason I'm sure the reason Scott's asking is because those guys were all headed to eat dinner a few minutes ago. Um, I didn't hear him knocking a while ago. Maybe he did. I don't know. But yeah, those guys were hanging out in the parking lot. And that's kind of our plan, is for me to head down here shortly and see if they are down there. So I'm going to text and see if they're back yet. I don't think they probably are. But I will talk about a few things. Do you have the ability to pull up the Google Drive for the pictures?
Yeah, I actually got them already downloaded, so I can pull them up that way too.
Perfect. I was gonna say there's a couple shots in there I want to show you guys, and they're really just racers that are here on site at Street-N-Yeet. That, you know, again, we weren't suspecting that. I didn't know for sure if Bryant Goldstone was going to be here or not, but there are some like the Hargets are here. I didn't get a picture of their car. Kyle Beaumont has the transmission out of his Trans Am right now, and he is actually at the trans builder that built his transmission last year when he came to this to go over all that. So he's got the Power Glide in the car now, and Power Glide is out of the car now, and I helped him load it up in the back of his truck. So that was the first thing that happened as I pulled in to the track tonight, and I'm glad I went ahead and went to the track because I got all my decals and things like that, so I can get all those on the car and get everything ready for tomorrow. Not that I'm racing, but you know, you got to have that on if you're going to drive around. Even the little Saturn rocket's got to have all that stuff on it. So it's kind of nice. But this was at Mark Edwards' shop, at Mark Edwards' house. This is obviously a photo from a project that's his. It's like 2 or 3 in line behind the C10 truck. So super cool. 32 233 coupe, something like that. So grabbed some shots there this morning while I was getting my suitcase and stuff
Now,
put in the car.
now everybody look at this picture and tell me that Mike is not a photographer. He tries to say it all the time that he's a video guy, but
Well,
look at that shot.
here's what's funny is the way you know you're trying to do something is if you're moving crap around and you're trying to get the shot better. And so you can see in the bottom right picture, there's actually a block of wood there, but there was one in front of that tire, and I actually moved it and rolled the car forward so I could get some sunlight on it. So I'm getting better. I'm getting more comfortable taking pictures.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, you're doing pretty dang good.
Well, I appreciate that. The next little bit of setup here. So on the right there's his little farm Jeep. It's a right-hand drive postal Jeep. So or
That's
yeah,
pretty sweet.
the postal Jeep, but like it's from the 40s or 50s or whatever. So he was trying to tell me, but I didn't understand what all he was talking about. So
Like, look at this. Come on.
yeah, dude, see with the wood how it's like the depth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you're using a cell phone, and you're taking
Yeah.
better pictures than sometimes I do with an actual camera.
Yeah, just wait till Eric throws some of his edit stuff on there. Now, when you get to
Oh,
the Diamond T here in just a little bit, there's this is as you pull into so Shady Side, you can see over the hood of the car there is actually the track back there. But this was really cool. My grandfather actually drove a Diamond T way back when he drove a truck. When he first started driving a truck, he drove a Diamond T, so it's kind of neat. So I grabbed a few shots of this to see if Eric can make him look decent. The
oh,
the problem.
there's one in here that is gonna look good.
Yeah, the problem Eric has is
This
that
one.
I'm in the shadow most of the time.
Oh, come
Eric
on.
cleans a lot of that up.
Yeah, you know I can get rid of your shadow.
Yeah.
This picture I really liked. I thought this was a really cool photo.
Well, I appreciate that for sure. This is really a neat deal. When I saw that it was the T, I was like, man, I got to get some shots of that. So yeah, and then this is kind of they do like a little bit of early registration. They were getting the trailer and everything set up and getting the tables kind of figured out how they wanted to do it. But in this shot, I can't remember her first name, but I think it's Rundle or Rendell for the last name. So the Trans Am won DYO in the spring, and so
Yeah.
she's back. And then obviously Bryant Goldstone there. You got Sheldon Root in the Nova behind him, and they were working on some two-step activation and things like that for that car in the
Yeah.
lanes, and Josh Davis and Devin were helping kind of with it, get it all set up. Now it currently holds the fastest 8th mile record on Southeast Street-N-Yeet. So it's back and it's on a tiny tire this time, so it should be pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, I saw that picture and it made me think of can you look at my laptop?
Yeah,
When I saw Devin standing there.
yeah. Yep, this car here was at Six Summer. Beautiful car. This picture does it absolutely no justice. Sorry, an NHRA stock here, and saying Root has an Acadian, which is the Canadian version of a Nova. So it's not a Nova. So sorry, apologize about that. But this car is gorgeous. I'll get some better pictures first thing in the morning of it. It was really really cool. Car left really hard, and then I think he basically just got. I was doing some testing, some short track testing, and then got out. So pretty cool setup there. I was really trying to get that shot with the track tower in the back, but obviously as you're panning, because these are
Yeah.
from the video I was taking. So, and then
Oh,
again,
okay.
that video will drop later tonight.
This is another photo I think's awesome. Just the angle that you got here looking down track.
Yeah, I thought the lighting was good on this, and obviously anytime you can get that car kind of firing down that way. Now, again, this is one of the times we were talking about the car earlier, at first part of the show, they were having some bump box issues and things like that. So they're working on those.
I'm telling you, if you keep up these photos, Chris Story and Jesse Fox better watch out. Mike Narks is gonna
No,
come take over.
they got real cameras and stuff. These are just cell phone cell phone pictures that Eric hasn't edited yet. They're getting there though. We're coming around. And again, I'm really trying to do that to one, Eric is a great photo editor, and so he can make these things look good, but then it also provides us with another layer of coverage to people that are at home. We'll have daily albums that'll drop from my time at an event or Eric's time at an event. That way people can see photos and maybe see additional stuff that they would never see that we haven't done all year, except for the last 2 or 3 events. And I'm
Yeah.
going around taking pictures, and it works really well. So I appreciate you thinking of that, and it's only helped. And then again, me shooting what I'm going to call daily vlogs on my phone, and then also the big camera stuff. Hopefully, we'll have some time between PRI and sick week that I can get a lot of the photos from this year put together. So
Yep, 100%. This is
yeah,
the can you look at my laptop photo?
yeah, it certainly was. And I was trying to get Josh and Devin. They were both like standing there looking at it, but like you can see him kind of looking over his shoulder. He was moving around kind of behind him, like you could tell he wanted to do it a little bit, but that's the way it works sometimes, I guess. So yeah, they were working on that, and then the Doyle's car. You guys know I love this car. I was really trying to get a good angle on this. It looked really good in my phone, but I couldn't get it to look the way I wanted it to. The lighting was absolutely perfect when I was trying to get these shots, but there's one that I was really trying to get from the like back corner down the track, but the way that Shady Side is laid out, you really from the pit lanes where that car was parked, it doesn't have a good down track shot. So
Well, once I get to editing, these are gonna
yeah,
pop, so these are gonna look good.
yep,
This one turned out really good.
yep, yeah. I like that one a lot. I think, and that car to me is so cool. Just with, Catherine had the wheels absolutely shining on this thing, and the whole car just looked perfect. When I saw it at race week, it was really, really dirty because they had just come through some rain and all that kind of stuff, and so they had all that cleaned up and handled this time. And
Yeah.
again, he's on a tiny tire this weekend, and he said he wanted to try a 235. He's like, we've done so many events this year. He's like, I wanted to try a 235.
Yeah, it's a beautiful car. It's got just the right amount of patina on it. That blue, that baby blue, sky blue is a great color. Goes great with the black wheels, so I really like that car as well.
Yep. Um, sorry, I'm talking to James here. He said they're waiting on their check across the street, so we got a little bit of time here. Because I'd like to have them on the show for sure. And if we need to, we can always close this if we're out of stuff, and then I can go downstairs and flip on a live stream from my phone and just go live right from the parking lot, and you know make it two separate ones instead of uh, running up the show here. But yeah, this here, of course, Bryant with them, the trailer is hooked up to the car here, but you couldn't really see it from the shots. I think maybe I've got one shot that's firing down the.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it was. Yeah, this would have been a really cool shot about 40 minutes earlier.
Right?
But they were in the lanes 40 minutes before that. Uh, so I was talking to Bryant, and he said that they're working through. He said we're going to try and figure it out. So we may have to put the other transmission back in before we do everything tomorrow. He said we didn't come out here to struggle. So
Yeah.
we're definitely not going to be doing that.
And I think that was the last photo that you got in here so far, so.
Yeah,
And
there's a
again,
I'll add, but those will be coming shortly. I'll tell the hotel story real quick. So I messaged Eric. I'm like, hey, I'm like 15 minutes from the hotel, or I said I'm headed to the hotel, and then Eric's like, okay, no problem. I'll start getting things set up. So he made all the notes and got everything ready for tonight. I pull into the first hotel because typically in Drag and Drive Michael Nark's fashion, I don't make reservations ahead of time because I really don't know what I'm going to be doing. The Hargets had allowed me a spot to sleep tonight in their toter home if I wanted it. So, that's always an option. If I'd gotten to the track and there was some stories there, I would have stayed, and we could have gone through that and I'd have just slept there. So it's hard for me to spend this extra $117 for tonight if I didn't need it. But I wanted to come into town because I needed a good Wi-Fi to be live tonight. So, anyways, well, the first 3 hotels that are on the recommended list for Southeast Street-N-Yeet, I go to the first one. They have no rooms. Oh, no problem. I go to the second one, which is literally right behind the first one. They have no rooms. So now I'm like, okay. Well, the third hotel is about 3 minutes away. So I drive over there. They have no hotel rooms. And I was like, what is going on in Shelby, North Carolina tonight that there are no hotel rooms? Apparently, for all you women out there, there is a fireman convention here in town this weekend, and all the firemen are here in Shelby, North Carolina.
So
I
you
know.
didn't put on an outfit and try to get into wherever they were going?
No, I wish I would have thought of something. So luckily, between driving from the second to the third one, I saw Scott Brown's car out front. And so I pulled in here after my no luck on the third place, pulled in here and they had a room available. So it worked out perfect. So, and then,
That's
yeah,
definitely the difference between you and I. That would just drive me crazy to drive across however many hours to where I'm going and not know that I have a place to sleep.
man, that is drag and drive experience though, right there speaking, because there's a lot of times where you truly don't know. And with this, it would have been no problem. I'm 20 minutes from the track. So if this hotel had not had a spot, I would have just messaged the Hargets and been like, "Hey, I'm gonna come back and sleep in your floor," and it would have saved me the money. But I don't know if it would have had as good of service as maybe what we've had tonight. So, anyways, I'm appreciative that Scott Brown parked out by the street, because if he had not, I probably would have just went from the third place on back to the track. So, sorry, Stephen Mask was messaging me.
I said I thought you were going to say the Marines were gathering for the birthday.
Yeah,
And then I don't know if you saw the picture or the post, four-wheel drive squares. I saw that earlier today that it is
yeah,
under its own power.
that's awesome. That is awesome. That truck's going to be gnarly, gnarly, gnarly. Yeah, I guess I smell. Well, it's from lugging. So, Ryan typically only runs like a 275 tire or 295 tire. I can't remember. But he was only having to do that before. Well, now he's got to figure out how to put all four of those tires in, the 235 and the 275 tires in. So, yeah, Scott decided to party with the firemen. Yes, that's I'm sure where his mind went. So
It's either that or he's showing up to your room with the firemen, and they're gonna.
they're gonna.
How
Where's the
funny would that
socks?
be?
Where's the socks with the soap?
How funny would that be as they bust in your room and you've got all these firemen and Scott come?
What the heck? Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Hargett says, you did not want to say me. I wanted to be able to be live here on the show tonight and not have any issues. And I kind of wanted to drink beers in the parking lot, which I think is what I'm going to do here in just a few minutes. And then Stephen Mask was also messaging saying that there's about 12 people hanging out, looks like around a fire at the third hotel I was at earlier. So may have to sneak over there if I skip beers here, drive over there, do some beers there, and then Uber back to here.
What I'm hearing is it's going to be a long night, and you're going to be live from multiple hotels
That's
after
probably
this
what's going to
show.
happen. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. So I think that's probably our best play from here is to go ahead and end the weekly Drag and Drive show and say thanks everybody that's watched tonight and be ready. I mean this truly is the last event of the season that I will attend, except for PRI, and that's not a Drag and Drive. So this is I intend to get a lot of coverage from here. One, because there's going to be a lot of really fast cars and tracks. These tracks should be on kill, so we should see some bumpers drug this weekend. This weekend, I guess it's going to be Thursday tomorrow, and we should see hopefully some records fall. I know Devin has mentioned in the past he would like to see their 464 that they put up at Sick Week earlier this year. That he would like to see that fall as the overall average. So I know he would come back and swing at it again. So maybe somebody can knock that down this week. This weekend, I just remembered that Hargett did say he ran 480 something earlier on the 235 tire. So it's going to be awesome there. Pat Cook asked if I'm going to make it to Coder next weekend. Sadly, no, but excitingly, my oldest daughter has a cheer competition next weekend. So she's actually competing this weekend. So I'm missing her first one. So I'm very sad about that. But next weekend, I will be there cheering on my daughter competing in her first ever cheer competition. So it's kind of exciting.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Yeah.
Where are you planning to be on Saturday for the news show?
Yeah. So Saturday racing doesn't start until 3. So hopefully I'll be at the track. That'll be my plan, is to drive Friday night from the track, from one spot to the track next, because I think it's only like 100 miles or 120 miles or something like that. So if it's not any further than that, then I'll do that. or we'll get a hotel room there, maybe. And then I'll just go live from the track. So,
All right, sweet. Well, ending the show. Thank
Yep.
you, Summit. Thank you, Sweet Patina, Molly, Racing Junk, and Howard's. And we'll see everybody Saturday morning then.
yep. See you guys.
See ya.